Welcome back to my channel. Today is all about potato salad. I'm going to teach you how to make it yourself, so make sure you stick around. I'm using salt and pepper, paprika, chicken bouillon, red and yellow bell pepper, celery, russet potatoes, eggs, Miracle Whip, yellow mustard, and mayo. So I've already peeled and rinsed my potatoes. I'm going to cut these into quarters, and then I'm going to cut these again into chunks. When you cut your potatoes, just try to have them as uniform as possible so that they'll cook evenly. So if you have any chunks that are too large, then you want to just simply slice it down just like this. Now you can place your potatoes in a bowl of cold water so that they don't begin to oxidize and turn brown. So celery is a traditional item that I believe most people use in their potato salad. I love it for flavor and crunch. However, I don't like super big chunks in my potato salad. So I'm just going to chop this down nice and fine. And this is my personal preference. You can chop this down to whatever size that you like. Red bell pepper. Yes, I love using colorful bell peppers in my potato salad. Not only does it add that pop of color, but it's also really sweet and it'll add some crunch as well. So if you don't like bell peppers, you can just leave this out altogether, but I love bell peppers, and anytime I'm making potato salad, I always try to use at least 2 colorful peppers. So now we're going to cook our potatoes, but first you want to drain the starchy water from the potatoes and give it a quick rinse, and then you want to add this to your pot. You only need to fill up enough water to cover the potatoes. We're going to add this to the stove and cook the potatoes on high heat. And you want to season the potatoes. I'm using 3 teaspoons of chicken bouillon. This is going to add so much flavor to the potato salad. Now, if you don't want to use this, another option would be to just use salt. And you're going to cook the potatoes for around 15 to 20 minutes, but make sure that you check it periodically because you do not want to overcook the potatoes. So at the 13-minute mark is when you want to begin to check your potatoes, and they should be fork tender, just like this. Once they are done, you want to remove it immediately from the stove and drain it. Place your eggs on the stove so that they can begin to cook as well. So after you drain your potatoes, you're going to add these to your large mixing bowl. Make sure you have a big bowl, and you want to let this cool down completely. But I like to slightly break up my potatoes while they are still hot. And I'm not going to break up all of the potatoes, just some of them. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. You might prefer a chunky potato salad. And if you do, you want to skip this step altogether. But if you prefer your potato salad to be slightly creamy, then you can do this now, or you can wait till the potatoes have completely cooled down to do this. And if you notice here, I'm using a knife to break up some of the larger chunks, so that's an option as well. And this is what the potatoes look like at this point here. And as they cool down, they'll begin to get more firm. So this is why I prefer to break them while they are still hot. It's just easier for me. So the eggs have cooked for around 12 or 13 minutes. So now I'm just going to drain them. My bad. So now we're back in business. Run some cold water onto the eggs to help speed up the cooling process, and it'll also help the eggs peel easier. So here's a quick trick that I've learned from my son. crack the shell completely just like this. Then you can place the egg under running water. Make sure that it's cool water, and the egg shell is going to slide right off. This is so easy. So this is just a quick tip. You can try it if you want to, or you can just, peel the eggs the way you normally do it. So after the potatoes have completely cooled off, you want to add the celery and bell peppers to the bowl. If you're using onions, you want to add that in there now. If you're using relish, add that now. And go ahead and add in the egg. So as you can see, I'm not using a cutting board for this process. I'm just cutting this up in my hand. This is my personal preference to do it this way. Cutting boards are great, but I have a wooden cutting board and I just don't like the smeared egg yolk all over my cutting board. So this is easiest for me, and I've been doing it this way for years. So, I kind of consider myself to be a pro at this. I'm not advising you to cut an egg in your bare hand, but if you feel you can get it done this way, then by all means, go ahead. And you also don't have to use a knife. You can use a fork to chop up your egg. You can even use a butter knife. So I'm adding 3 eggs into the bowl, and I'm going to reserve the other 2 for the topping. So when you fold these ingredients in together, if you have a wooden spoon, use it, okay? It's just going to make it so much easier to mix this up. Or make sure you have a spoon with a very strong handle, and you'll see why as you mix the potatoes. It's going to require a lot of arm work, okay? So now I'm going to give you a close-up shot of the potatoes here, and we're going to begin to add the mayo, Miracle Whip, and the mustard. Now I know somebody is watching this and you are wondering why I'm using Miracle Whip in my potato salad. Well, here's why. Miracle Whip adds a sweet flavor and it is creamy. But if you're not a fan of Miracle Whip, then by all means you do not have to use it. I will link all of the measurements down below in my description box if you'd like to try my recipe. If you'd like to try this but you want to make a smaller amount, you can. You just need to add way less ingredients, and it's always a good rule of thumb to start out small with the measurements, because you can always add more ingredients and build up the taste to what you like. So you want to mix this up. Also keep in mind that if you want a chunky potato salad, then try not to overmix it. So after mixing this up, now I'm going to taste it. It's very important to always taste your food as you go. Then you can season it with salt, pepper, and paprika. As you can see, I'm sprinkling just a small amount of each into my potato salad. At this point, you're almost done. So you don't want to mess this up by adding too much of this or too much of that. So you always want to, start small with your seasonings. Then go ahead and taste it again. And if it needs anything else, you can always add more. So I decided to add a little more Miracle Whip. And this is perfect. It's just how I like it. So you have to make your potato salad the way that you like it. You may like it chunky or creamy. I like a combination of both. And as you can see here, I still have chunks in my potato salad. Most of it is creamy, but some of it is chunky. And this is the perfect texture for me. So after the potato salad is done, you want to pour it into a nice serving dish before you add the egg toppings. Presentation is everything, so make sure you pour this into something nice. But since I'm making this for the house, I'm gonna pour the potato salad right back into my mixing bowl. I did clean it. It's clean, y'all. I know I'm being a little extra right now, but that's okay. That is okay, okay? So now I want to show you how you can top this off with the last 2 reserved eggs, and you can sprinkle some paprika on top. But remember, presentation is everything. It should taste good and it should look good. So here's a beautiful way to dress up the potato salad. You can sprinkle some parsley on there and boom, you're good to go. So I want to thank you so much for watching this video. Please give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Thank you.